Oh, what's up? But it's Rob. This is Apparel Success. And in this video here, I want to talk to you about how to choose a niche for your clothing brand. This is likely something you're already trying to do with your brand. And you've probably heard a lot about this before. The riches are in the niches, as they say. Well, in this video here, I'm going to explain the importance of choosing a niche for your clothing brand on a level that you've likely never understood before. There's a side effect of choosing a niche and going down a particular lane confidently for your clothing brand that can seem to be a negative side effect. And the side effect that I'm talking about is that when you choose a lane, when you go down a lane confidently and that's all you're selling to, you're alienating all other potential markets from wanting to buy your products. This can seem like a negative thing. And in this video here, I'm going to break down why that's actually not a bad thing at all, and that's actually a good thing for your clothing brand. I think you're going to enjoy it. Apparel Success here is sponsored by my buds over at BrandCrowd. BrandCrowd's a logo maker tool. You type in the name of the logo you want to have made, hit enter, thousands of logos will come up. You choose the logo that you like, edit, design that logo as long as you want for free until it's perfect for you. This is a Hundo P design I had made for my own clothing brand using BrandCrowd. If you're interested, head over to brandcrowd.com/apparel success and you can get 66% off at checkout. All right, so do you want to know what the absolute worst possible thing you could do is if you're coming out with a new clothing brand and you want to get orders, you want to really make this work? The number one worst thing that you could do to just kill your chances at making this work is to come out with a new brand concept that is really broad, that's going after a broad group of people, a broad identity. Because by doing that, what you're doing is you're not going to have a brand that people are able to get passionate about. You're not going to have a brand that people are going to get excited enough about to really want to buy. And I remember when I started up my clothing brand and even this YouTube channel when I only had like 1,000 subscribers or 2,000 subscribers, I used to get roasted for my brand name K-Bud. You'd be like, K-Bud, you're not getting any orders with K-Bud. And I'm like, no, like, look, I'm getting like thousands of orders. Like, check this out. I know what I'm doing. And it's like, no, you're not. Bullshit. You don't know what you're talking about, you know? And the reason why is because if I'd come out with a name Canadian Lifestyle, I would just have been like every other generic clothing brand. It basically would have been a guarantee that I'm not going to get very many orders for my brand. I'm not able to build a cult-like following. I'm not able to really build a tribe of people who really are on board and want to join my tribe. And having such a crazy name, creating this identity that is really specific for a group of people, it's polarizing. It gets people that don't really like the brand, that are like, this is ridiculous, this is the stupidest thing I've ever heard. But then it gets people who are really for the brand, who like really get it and really love all the designs because it's exactly how they speak. It's exactly a part of the culture that they are a part of. I've done hundreds of brand reviews over the past 5 years. And when you sign up for a brand review, you have to tell me how many orders you're getting, how your brand's been doing. And almost every single brand that is struggling when they sign up for these brand reviews are these brands that have really generic concepts. They just don't quite know exactly who they're really going after. And I believe that this is a psychological setback for a lot of people. It's a hurdle that they can't get over in their head. And all of the ones that are crushing it and they're just looking for a couple tweaks or just some advice from me all have like a really particular niche that they're going after, a really particular identity. And since they know who they're going after, it becomes so easy for them to create Instagram posts because they know exactly what to post on Instagram because they know exactly what their brand's all about. And so rather than somebody just like up against a brick wall looking like that, where it's like, I really don't know what this brand is about, it's like maybe they're just like a fishing brand and that's all that they're about is like fishing in rivers. That's like what their brand's about, river fishing. And then they just dominate that space. They just sell so hard to the people who are super into river fishing, right? And it's because all of their posts on Instagram are like particular for that exact person. All of their designs are particular for that person. Their name is particular for that person. Their story, everything it creates an identity of somebody who is obsessed with river fishing and loves it. And all of the other people who are obsessed with river fishing get on board and love it as well. And that's just an example that I thought of off the top of my head. But I'm really trying to drill in this point of commitment. And this is where it comes back to the psychological setback. You have to reach a point with this where you let go a little and you say, okay, I'm not going to try and go after everybody. I'm just going to commit to this lane, and I'm just going to smash this lane. I'm not going to be looking at my peripherals. I'm going to be looking dead straight at exactly who I'm trying to sell to and just cultivate the brand perfectly for that person. Sculpt the brand absolutely perfect for that person. It's been pretty hard for me, honestly, even on this YouTube channel, just making clothing brand content because I have so much more to share. And I really had to over the first 5 years, especially the first 2 or 3 years, even though I have so much more business content to share with you, I had to sort of bite the bullet on that. And on this channel, really just focus in on the perfect person that I wanted to watch this channel and where I could offer the most amount of value at the time, which was clothing brand advice. And that's why the channel is named Apparel Success. It's that focus. The focus is so powerful. And it's what really allows you to sell fairly easily and in numbers. And another thing to mention on this idea of niching down, another sort of bit of resistance that people have is that they get kind of worried that by niching down, they're not going to have a big enough market. But you'd be surprised how many people these days, especially with the internet and who you have access to, will be a part of all these different little subcultures and all these different little niches. The niches are way bigger than people think they are. So if I asked you the question right now, who is your brand just simply not for? Like what's a group of people that are just simply not going to be interested in your clothing brand? Would you be able to answer that question? Because if you can't answer that question, who your brand isn't for at all, then it's likely that you don't really know exactly who your brand is for. You know, I know that for my clothing brand, my brand just straight up is not for people overseas. I make clothing for Canadians, a part of that subculture. I also know that my clothing brand isn't for club goers and people who, you know, dress like super fancy and things like that. It's just not for those people. It's for people living the lifestyle that my brand's about. And by knowing that, well, and knowing who it's actually for, it's giving my brand substance. It's giving it a presence in that market, and it's giving it power. That's where all of the power of your brand comes from, is from having a distinct line where on one side, there's people who just would never understand your brand. They don't care for it. It's just not for them. And then on the other side, people are going to be like, this is for me. This is exactly my brand. And it's the same thing in music. You know, there's a lot of people who just have never heard of some country artists who are like super famous. And the reason why they've never heard of it or care about it is because they just don't listen to country music. But then there's people who listen to country music who are like diehard fans of these people, right? And that's basically what you want to be doing with your clothing brand. The practical advice in this video is to get focused on exactly who you're going after. Take the time to really figure that out and practice letting go a bit of these fluffy terms, these fluffy words that you're using inside of your brand, and really commit to the ones that are perfect for your particular audience. And when you do this and you commit on all aspects of your business, from the way that you're writing your About Us page, to the way that you're designing your clothing, to the brand name, to the way that you're posting on Instagram and TikTok, and you just straight up commit to your lane, that's when you're going to get the best results for your clothing brand. And I just hope that this was a great reminder for you that there's always more layers to peel back with your brand. There's always another level that you can get to when it comes to laser accuracy and creating the brand that's perfect for somebody. You can always chisel away at it. You can always chip away at it and just get better and better when it comes to your ability to resonate with your exact customer. There's always going to be improvements. You can improve over the seasons. You know, every time you release new products, you should be getting better and better at coming out with products that are perfect for your target market. And, you know, I just hope that that was a great reminder for you. If this video helped you out, please hit the like button for me. It really helps me get these videos out there. And let me know what you think about all this in the comments below. And if you haven't already, check out my free clothing brand marketing masterclass. All you have to do to get access is go to apparelsuccess.com/masterclass. You can watch the whole thing for free, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.